Dear students, let us see some numericals on this AC. A 100 ohm resistance is connected in series with a 4 Henry inductor. The voltage across the resistor is VR is equal to 2 volts into sine of 1000 radians per second into time. Find the expression of current in the circuit, find the inductive reactance and derive an expression for the voltage across the inductor. So basically when you see this type of questions where some equation is given, in this resistance is given and is asking you to find out the current, inductive reactance, XL value and the voltage. So you should compare this equation with the standard equation. See, basically how do you get the current? You have to take the voltage, you have to divide by the resistance. Alright. So here the voltage value is given as 2 volts, this value. Okay. It is a function of time divided by the resistance value is given as 100. So 2 by 100 is 2 into 10 power minus 2 into sine of 1000 t. These many amperes. Okay. So there is no fixed answer. If you change time, the current also will change. Now in the second question is asking you to find out the value of XL. So XL is equal to omega L. So how do you get omega? So in this equation, if you see this, we know that V is equal to V0 into sine omega t, right? So you need to compare that. Whenever you see this format, you have to compare. So omega value is how much here? 1000 radians per second. So omega is 1000 and L value is given as 4 Henry. So it is 4000 ohms. Okay, it is 4000 ohms. Once you get the XL value, he is asking you what is the amplitude of voltage across the inductor. Amplitude means the peak value. So you need to find the V0 value. You have got the XL. It is the inductive reactance multiplied with the current value. So current, you need to take the peak value because you are finding V0, you have to find I0. So here you have found the current in terms of time expression. See, this will become maximum when the sine value becomes the maximum, and the maximum value of sine is 1. So the maximum current that will pass through is 2 into 10 power minus 2. So this should be 2 into 10 power minus 2 actually, into 4000. So it is 0.02 into 4000. 4000 into 0.02. So it is 8000. Yeah, 80 volts. Okay, this is the peak voltage value. Let's move to the next one. An alternating EMF 200 virtual volts. Okay, of 50 hertz is connected to a circuit of resistance 1 ohm and inductance 0.01 Henry. What is the phase difference between the current and the EMF in the circuit? It is asking you the phi value, phase difference. Also find the virtual current in the circuit. So you are provided an LR circuit here, and the voltage is leading the current by phi value. What is the meaning of this? I is like this, voltage is like this. That means it is leading by phi. If this is rotating like this is also rotating like this. I am drawing the phasor diagram. So it is always 5 degree ahead. So the phi value is, we know the formula, that it is tan inverse of XL by R. So why we have taken this? Because it is in the circuit. Which type of circuit is this? There is an inductor and there is a resistor. So specifically they will not tell you that it is an LR circuit. You have to make it. So this is an LR circuit, so you have to put that formula. XL is equal to omega L. Omega is equal to 2 pi f into L. F is the frequency. Frequency, is it given? Yes, it is given. 50 hertz. 2 pi into 50 to 0.01. It is pi ohms. Resistance also value given. So you can find out XL by R value. So you can get the phi value. Phi value is 72.3 degrees. Now, you want to find out the RMS value of the current. You have to basically take the voltage RMS voltage value divided by Z value. Because it's a combination circuit, so you have to find the Z value, right? Z of the LR circuit. So what's the formula? Root over R square plus XL square. So RMS value is given as 200 virtual volts. He is saying it is the RMS value. Okay, 200 by root over 1 square plus 5 square. You get 60.67 amps. Let's move to the next one. A resistance and inductance are connected in series across the voltage. V is equal to 283 sin 314t. Again you see this type of equation is provided. So you have to compare. So this 314 is omega value. The current is found to be 4 sin 314t minus pi by 4. Phi value also is provided. Find the values of the inductance and the reactance. So which type of circuit is this? There is an inductance and there is a resistance. So it is a LR circuit. So phi is equal to tan inverse of XL by R. So what is the phi value? You see, I just now said whenever you see these type of equations you have to compare. So this is, see, the current, you know the general format, sine of omega t plus or minus phi, I told you, right? So this phi is this value. So phi value is given as pi by 4. So tan phi by 4, tan of pi by 4 is how much? 1. That means XL is equal to R. So what is XL? Omega L is equal to R. Omega value, again you can get it from this equation, it is 314. Okay, by taking this equation, V is equal to V0 into sine omega t. This omega value is matching with this, and here the peak value also is given, 283. Okay, yeah, so 314L is equal to R. V0 value is equal to 283 because I told you that this is the peak value, 283 is the peak value. Why peak value? Because sine 314t maximum value will be 1. So V is equal to 283. It cannot be more than 283. That is why you are calling it as peak value. I am trying to define every point because often when I am teaching in the class, I have seen the student, some points they don't understand peak value and all those things. So try to feel what you are doing. Okay. So now here, but V0 will be current multiplied by the combined resistance. What is that? It is Z value. Okay. Now peak value is 283. I0 value is 4. Why it is 4? Because this sine value maximum will be 1 only. So it will be 4. Again you have to take the peak value here. Into root over Z value is how much? For LR resistance. LR resistor it is R square plus XL square. But here you have come to know that these both are basically equal. So you can write this term as 2R square is equal to, you need to solve this. You get R is equal to 50. From there you can find out the L value. You know R, you know W. So you can get the L value. L value you have got 0.16 Henry. Let's see another. Find the voltage across the various elements, resistance, capacitance and inductance. All three terms are coming. That means it is a LCR circuit, which are in series and having values 1000 ohms, 1 individual values are provided. I always try to focus on the conceptual part, you know. The individual values you have to just plug in. Given EMF is, so equation for voltage also is provided. So what will be the peak value? This value will be 1 maximum. So V is equal to 100 root 2 will be the peak value. Right. So in this you have to find the current. So what is the voltage value here? RMS value. Peak divided by root 2. So it is 100 volts. So omega is equal to, it is given, which are in series, and omega is 1000 radians per second. I think this is 1000 radians per second, it is not ohms. Where are these ohms? Yeah, sorry, this is ohms only. Here, omega is here, no? Even omega values, even I got confused. Omega value also is 1000, okay? So you know omega. So because this is an LCR circuit, you know that IRMS will be VRMS by Z value. Because it is LCR circuit, What is the Z value? It is root over R square plus difference of XL and XC whole square. If XL is more, you write XL minus XC. If XC is more, you write XC minus XL. Basically, it doesn't make a difference because it is a square value. You get anywhere the positive value only. So XL is omega L, XC is 1 by omega C. So here RMS value of the current is given as 100. Okay, R value is given as 1000. You see here, R value is 1000, and omega L is given as how much? 2 Henry, and this is 1 mu f. Mu means 10 power minus 6. So it is 1 by omega C, right? Omega is 1000 and C is 10 power minus 6. Once you solve this, you get 0.0707 amps. This is the current. And which current is that? It is the RMS current. So actually in this question, I think I have not written the whole part. He is asking what is the potential difference across resistor, inductor and the capacitor. So if you have to get those values, you have to get first the IRMS value, okay, RMS current value that we have already calculated. And once you have got that, you have to multiply with the resistance value. If it is for the pure resistor, you need to multiply with R, you get VR. VR is equal to IRMS into R. R value is given as 1000. So you get 70.7 volts. If it is an inductor, you have to find VL. VL will be IRMS into XL. Okay, XL value will be omega L. Okay, this value. You plug those values, you get 141.4 volts. Across capacitor, VC will be IRMS into XC. So XC, XL, R values if you know, you can get the VR, VL, VC. Because basically the current passing is same. So you put in this value, you get 70.7 volts. What is XC? XC value is this thing. 1 by omega C. Omega, you know, capacitance is given as 1 mu f, which is 1 into 10 power minus 6 farads. You get 70.7 volts. So one thing, if you add all these three, 70, 140 and 70, you get approximately 280 volts. But the RMS value is given as 100 volts. Then how is it possible? It is possible because they are not coming in the same phase. They are coming with different phase. One is coming behind, one is coming forward. Right? They are not all three coming at the same time. You remember that phasor diagram equation I have drawn like this? You know, all three are not coming at the same time. That is why it is 283. You know, you simply cannot add them. So this explains that point. That even though individually you add them, you get 283, but that much voltage is not there. Okay. Okay. Let's move on to the next topic, which is power in a AC circuit. See, whenever you talk about an AC circuit, how do you get the power? You have to take the voltage, you have to take the current, multiply them, you get the power. In a DC circuit, this voltage and current are constant values, but here they are time varying values. So here also the procedure is same. You have to take the voltage and current, multiply them, and you get the power. So because these values are changing with respect to time, so at every time you will be getting an instantaneous value. So every time you will get a power value, and the power also is changing with respect to time. You get instantaneous power when you multiply instantaneous voltage with instantaneous current value. Now, so basically in an AC circuit, both voltage and current are varying with respect to time. Now they can be in phase or out of phase. Right? These two values can be in phase or they can be out of phase also. So how to get the power means you multiply voltage with the current. So voltage value is V0 sin omega t, and what is I? I am taking I0 sin omega t minus phi. Here we are assuming that they are not in phase. In fact, the voltage is leading the current by phi. The current is like this, the voltage is like this. So voltage is ahead, current is behind. Alright? That means when you move it, this comes over here, this will be like this. Every time it will be 5 degrees behind. So because it is behind, so we are writing omega t minus phi. Had it been ahead, we would have written omega t plus phi. So now we have to solve this. So this is sine of A minus B, just expand it. What is sine of A minus B? For those who don't know, sine A cos D minus cos A sin B. A value is omega t and B value is omega t minus phi. I have just done that. Sin of omega t, which is outside, sin of omega t is outside. I have expanded this sin of omega t minus phi. Alright. Yeah, you are applying sin of A minus B formula to this. So what is A? Omega t. What is B? Phi. So sin A cos B minus cos A sin B. A is omega t. Now simply multiply. Sin omega t, it becomes sin square omega t into cos phi minus cos omega t sin phi. Outside there is a sin omega t. So sin omega t cos omega t into sin phi. Okay. Yeah. So here it is sin square omega t cos phi minus this is sin omega t cos omega t. So multiply top and bottom with 2, it becomes sin 2a. Okay, sin 2a is equal to 2 sin a cos a. So this becomes sin omega 2 sin 2 omega t divided by 2 into sin phi. Now this is the power value. Now if you want to find the average power over one cycle, okay, what you will do? You have to take the total power divided by the total time. Okay, the total power output over a time t divided by the total time. So it is it's not the total power, it is the total energy by total time. See, what is basically power? It is work done by time, right? Or total work done by total time. So what is the total work done? Total work done means total energy, right? So this is the total energy, P multiplied by dt. For a small increment of time, it is dt, P dt is the energy. Total energy how you get? By integrating it. Now this P value we already calculated, and denominator will be what? Denominator will be total time, which is, you know, total time is equal to 2 pi by omega. Now we need to solve this integration part. See, in the denominator it is 2 pi by omega, so when it goes up it will be omega by 2 pi. So this whole thing will be repeating. Let us see inside what is happening. We have to integrate this. Now this cos phi multiplied by integration of this term sin square omega t. So sin square omega t can be written as 1 minus cos 2 omega 2 divided by 2. So for this you need to know cos 2a is equal to 1 minus sin square a, 2 sin square a. This is the trigonometric formula. So here a is omega t. So it becomes 1 minus cos 2 omega 2, 1 minus cos of 2 omega t divided by 2 dt. And then there is this term, which is here sin phi by t is constant, you can take it out. See why I am calling it constant? Because here the varying thing is time, not phi. Okay, so sin 2 omega t dt. You need to integrate this and you need to integrate this. Let us see the first one. When you integrate this 2, I am taking it outside, it will become cos phi by 2, and then this term inside is dt. So what is integration dt? It is t. So you have to put the upper and lower boundary, it will become t minus 0, which is t. Okay, now come to this term. Now this is cos 2 omega t. What is the integration value of that? It will be sin 2 omega t divided by 2 omega. Okay, so you have to put the upper and lower boundaries. So lower is 0, upper is 2 pi by omega. Similarly, let us come to this now. Sin phi by 2 outside, integration of sin of 2 omega t will be minus cos 2 omega t divided by 2 omega. Whenever you get out now, you differentiate this, you will get this value. So you have to put lower and upper boundaries. Now let us put the upper boundary here in the first term. It is 2 omega into 2 pi by omega. Omega cancel. What is left is 4 pi. So it is sin of 4 pi. Now it is not here, there is 2, there is another 2 here. It becomes sin of 4 pi. It doesn't make a difference because sin 2 pi and sin 4 pi both are zeros only. Okay, now come to this term. Here it is 2 omega into 2 pi by omega. So it is cos 4 pi divided by 2 omega, and when you put 0, it is cos 0. If you see the first term, it is 0 minus 0, this whole term will become 0. You are left with only t, and what is the t value? It is 2 pi by omega. When you come over here, cos 4 pi is 1, cos 0 is 1, so you get 1 minus 1, right? So this term will, whole term will become 0, thereby 0 multiplied by sin phi, it will also become 0. This is what I have explained in the second thing. This 1 minus 1, this whole term will become 0. But here the t term will be remaining. So bring it out. So it is pi by omega into cos phi. Okay. So the outside it is v0 i0 omega by 2 pi into, you have got cos phi by 2. This 2 got cancelled. Okay. You are left with cos phi into pi by omega. This pi and omega. So once you simplify, this pi and pi goes, omega and omega goes, you are finally left with v0 i0 by 2 into cos phi. This is the expression for the average power. Now in this equation, this v0 i0 are the peak values. Can we rearrange the equation? We can rearrange the equation by writing this 2 as root 2 into root 2. So I can write this as v0 by root 2 into i0 by root 2 into cos phi. What is v0 by root 2? Vrms. I0 by root 2 is IRMS into cos phi. This cos phi is called the power factor. Okay. So suppose in some question it is given as power factor is equal to 1 by 2. So that means that cos phi value is 1 by 2, and it means that current is lagging the voltage by 60 degrees. Okay. Current is lagging the voltage by 60 degrees. Here this product of Vrms and IRMS is called apparent power. So the true power is defined as apparent power multiplied by the power factor. See, basically what is phi? Phi is telling you the relationship between the VL and VR, or VC and VR, assuming that I and V are in the same direction always. Okay, if this is the direction of I, in the same direction is VR, but VL is ahead and VC is behind, right? So this phi is giving you that. If you are taking, the Z values, not this, the Z values, that the Z is like this, alright, the Z is like this, VR is like this, so it is, Z is ahead by VR by phi, you are saying. So if I am saying VR, it is current also, no, because both are in the same direction. Okay, let us see a couple of small numericals. A, based on the power point. A 750 Hz 20 volts and source is connected to a resistance of 100 ohms, an inductance of 0.1803 Henry, and a capacitance is given. Alright, calculate the time in which the resistance, thermal capacity is given 2 joules per centigrade, will get heated by 10 degrees. Alright, so in this question, what they are asking is, basically a circuit is provided. Which type of circuit is that? Inductance is there, reactance is there, capacitance, 3 terms are visible. So it is a LCR circuit. So you have to find the Z value by putting the formula R square plus difference of XL minus XC square. Once you get the Z, okay, once you get the Z value, see what is the R value. R value is given as, you need to search. R value is given as, where is the R value? Yeah, 100 ohms. 100 ohms. XL value, which is omega into L, right? Is omega value given in the question? Omega, you need to see that. Inductance is given, capacitance is given. Okay. Frequency is given. Once frequency is given, you can find the omega value, 2 pi f. So 2 pi f. Alright. So it is omega L. L value is this much, 0.1803, and C value is given this much in terms of microfarads. So 10 into 10 power minus 6. If you solve all these things, you get 834 ohms. That is the Z value. See, once you get the Z value, power you need to calculate. So what is power? It is, just now we have derived, it is RMS voltage into RMS current into cos phi. So here IRMS can be written as voltage by Z. Okay, so this voltage, it becomes square and Z square. Z value we have obtained, and voltage V by Z square. Voltage is how much? It is given as 20 volts into cos phi. See, what is cos phi? Cos phi, if you see the diagram, this is the triangle, assume, okay, this is adjacent side, hypotenuse, so R by Z is the cos phi. So in the question, sometimes you can calculate the power factor by calculating the cos phi value also. So here it is V square by Z square into R. R is 100. Okay, so you get 0.0575 joules per second. That is the power. See, once you have got the power, in the question basically what is asking? It is asking you to calculate the time in which the resistance is heated by 10 degrees. So he is giving you the temperature and the thermal capacity of that. Okay, so this power, because of which heat is developed, that much heat is raising the temperature by some degrees, and that degree is given. So what is the heat? Heat is equal to power multiplied by 10, and it is also equal to thermal capacity is given into change in temperature. Change in initial temperature, that delta theta value you can take it as 10 degrees. So let us say it was 20 degrees, it became 30 degrees, or it was 15, it became 25. We are interested in the delta theta value only. So from here you can get the time. Time will be equal to S delta theta by P. P you have calculated just now, isn't it? P you have calculated. S value is given in the question, 2 joules per degree centigrade. Here you should take care of the units always. Okay, you get finally 348 seconds. Let's move to this one. In a LCR circuit, R, L and C values are given. The source has voltage amplitude. Voltage amplitude is 150 volts and a frequency equal to the resonant frequency of the circuit. Frequency equal to the resonant frequency is same. Whenever this term you see, that means that XL is equal to XC. So what is the power factor? Okay, if XL is equal to XC, Z is equal to R. And what is cos phi defined as? R by Z. So cos phi became 1. So power factor is 1. What is the average power delivered by the source? So power is always, it is V multiplied by R or V square by R. So you have to take the RMS voltage value. So RMS voltage value is how much? It is 150 by root 2. Okay, because the amplitude voltage is given divided by root 2 divided by R. What is R? 150 volts. So once you substitute that, you get 75 volts. And in the next question he says that initially some capacitance was given and later it was modified. So when it is modified, even then the frequency was adjusted in such a way that you got resonant frequency. That means what might have happened? They might have adjusted the inductance value. But in the second case also you are getting the resonant frequency only. If you are getting the resonant frequency, this condition still applies. That means the power output will remain same and it will be 75 omega only. Okay, thank you.